and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes and today I've come around the garage to do a little job on Maude, my MOREDOOR Mk2 Escort. Also on the subject of Maude, I received a parcel yesterday which contains a part I've been waiting for absolutely ages, and I'll show you that later on in the video. My videos have been a bit few and far between lately because I've had loads of other stuff to deal with in my life and in my head, which I'm not going to go into detail about, but I want to send a massive thanks out to everyone who has been in touch to ask if I'm alright. Everything's sweet, it's just sometimes life gets in the way of the cars. I didn't even want to come around here today, to be honest, but I've been dragged around here by the scruff of my neck by my girlfriend Kat, who is fed up with me using her car, WINSTON, the plastic Fiesta, to get to work. Now the reason I haven't been able to use Maude to get to work for the last week is because her front brake pads are worn right down to the point where they're actually grinding on the brake discs. The brake discs I've got fitted to Maude are quite decent and they haven't been on there very long, so I didn't want to ruin them. Now I've already got Maude jacked up and I've actually already replaced the brake pads on one side. The pads I've always used on my Escorts are these EBC yellow stuff ones. Now as far as I know, they do green stuff, yellow stuff and red stuff. The red stuff are more track pads, which actually don't work properly until they're warmed up. The green ones are more of like a fast road pad, and I think they're designed more to produce less brake dust, whereas these ones bite better than the green stuff, but they don't really need warming up before they actually start working. But they do cause quite a lot of brake dust, which doesn't really bother me, to be honest. I've got these on eBay for about 62 quid, I think they were, and as always, I'll leave a link in the description of this video for anyone who wants to grab a set for their car. Now these pads are obviously suitable for the M16 calipers that I've got fitted to both my Escorts actually. They're a decent caliper. I'm not sure whether they would withstand heavy use on track. Maybe then you'd want to upgrade to a set of Wheelwoods or whatever, but yeah, these are a really decent budget caliper. And I'm using these EBC drilled, grooved and vented discs. I think these are called EBC Turbo Sport discs or something. Got them on eBay a while ago. They haven't been on there long. There's hardly any lip, which is why I didn't want to risk running the car with really worn brake pads. So yeah, that side's already done, so I can go around the other side and start that. Just get my glamorous assistant to turn the steering wheel all the way to the driver's side, please.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you've never changed brake pads before, I recommend that you don't do it yourself and you should get the professionals to do it. However, if you do want to have a go, make sure you do loads of research. There's loads of videos on YouTube showing you how to change brake pads. Don't just rely on this video. It's not going to be a full-on tutorial anyway. Obviously, you need your brakes. If they don't work properly, you might die. Now, one of these pads in here isn't actually an EBC yellow stuff one. A week prior to me parking the car up, the brakes started grinding, and then I was able to find two pads in my garage, which were just second-hand stock pads. And then when I took the brakes apart, only one pad either side was grinding. So I decided to just change those ones for the second-hand stock ones that I had, and then that kept me going for about a week while I was waiting for the new pads to get delivered. And then I ended up parking it up when it started grinding again. And then ever since then, I've been using WINSTON to get to work because basically I've just been too lazy to come around here and replace them. Now the way these are all held together, you've got these two pins that go through here, which basically go through each pad, and they also go through a SHIM, which is on the back of each pad, which helps stop the brakes squealing, and then the pins are held in by these little R clips here. So it's just a case of taking the clips off and pulling the pins out, and then pulling the pads out and replacing with the new pads. But because the piston is obviously pushed out quite far because the pads are worn, you will need to wind the piston back into the caliper before you can put the new pads in. While it's all apart, I'll give it a clean out with like a wire brush to get rid of all the excess brake dust, and then I'll put a little bit of copper grease just where the pads need to slide. You can actually see here where the caliper itself has been grinded on the disc. Now that's not ideal, but eventually when the new pads are bedded in, that'll all be flat again. The pads don't actually go right to the edge anyway, so it's probably only half of that bit of ground away disc that needs to flatten back out again. Right, so somehow I've lost one of the clips, but me being me, got some spares. Hate using shiny bits on Maude, but it is what it is. Right, so that's it all back together. One thing I did forget to mention earlier on is that you'll need to remove the cap from your brake fluid reservoir. And what that does is it allows the pistons in the brake caliper to be able to be wedged back so that you'll be able to get the new, thicker brake pads in. And one thing you want to do before you put the wheel back on is give the disc a good clean with some brake cleaner, because obviously you're going to have fingerprints and maybe bits of copper grease on the brake discs. And although grease on your brake discs will make your pads and your discs last way longer, you will die because your brakes won't work. Right, I'm actually filming this video on an iPhone today, so apologies if the quality isn't as good, or maybe it's better, I don't know. But before my battery runs out on my phone, I want to show you the parcel that I received from Maude yesterday. I'm sure those of you who have been following my videos will be able to guess what it is already, especially considering the size of the box. I have finally received the replacement sump for Maude, and the one on it now is leaking like a sieve. It's ridiculous, so yeah, it's about time. So this has come from Neil Dunn, who supplied the sump that's fitted to the car now. I'll leave a link to his website in the description of this video, as well as his Facebook. If you need to contact him, he does loads of other rear-wheel drive Zetec parts, a lot cheaper than some of the other companies, to be fair. Now, I was going to replace the sump on Maude with one from a different company, but Neil agreed to replace the sump free of charge, so yeah, can't complain about that. Really good customer service. He's taken ages to send it to me because, unfortunately, he was ill earlier on in the year, and he had to have 6 weeks off. Now, he runs his own business, and I don't think he employs anyone, so he does it all on his own. And when I was speaking to him yesterday, he's only just caught up, and he's been doing sort of 16-hour days. So, yeah, massive thanks to Neil for sending it out to me. Now, the reason I think this might actually work, whereas the old one leaks, is because he's updated the design of the mounting flange. So it now includes this return lip. Now, I think the reason that the old sump kept leaking is because, you know, I had it off and on a few times, and then when I take it off, I basically use a hammer to flatten this mounting face so that it's nice and flat when it gets mounted back up to the engine. But obviously, if it's getting bent and then straightened, bent and then straightened too many times, it makes the flange weak. Whereas with this return lip on it, that will make this a lot more solid. So I'm really confident that this should be okay and shouldn't leak. We'll obviously have to see once I've fitted it, but yeah, I'm definitely happy with the new design. So yeah, if you need to get yourself a sump for a rear-wheel drive Zetec, he does other sumps as well. He supplies the Brisker F2 stock cars and the Saloon stock cars as well. Yeah, get in touch with Neil. Now, I probably won't be fitting this for a good few weeks, and I won't be showing the whole process in the video because you've seen me replace sumps before. But once I get this fitted, then I can start thinking about taking more drifting again, which is good. Right, so I'm going to end this video here before my battery runs out. I know it's been quite a short video and I haven't really done much, but I've been really lazy on YouTube lately and I just wanted to upload something to get back into the swing of things. Massive thanks again to Neil Dunn for sending me out the sum. I can't wait to get it fitted to Maude, and hopefully that will be the end of all Maude's oil leak issues. So if you thought this video was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you thought it was shit, give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe and activate the notification bell to be kept right up to date with any other videos that I post in the future. Make sure you check out my Facebook and my Instagram, and I'll leave the links you need for that in the description as well. Until next time, from me and from Kat, thanks for watching.